May God make your moments blessed, our noble viewers. I hope you are all well. My name is Justin. Today, I come to you that we may together enter a gate. A gate that has never been closed since eternity. The gate of arrival at certainty. We shall not seek words to be said, but truths to be lived. I affirm that certainty is not an image in a book, nor a word upon the tongue. It is a breath that flows through the soul, establishing proof upon its bearer, before it establishes it upon others. How can proof be raised, unless it be a gate to what lies beyond it? The living proof untouched by the hand of alteration, unreached by the ornaments of distortion, cannot be replaced, even if theorists attempt to replace it, or the multitudes adopt it. Know that steadfastness in belief draws not its strength from letters alone, but from the truth that those letters illuminate. For the written line may change its script or its dots, and the tongue may err in recitation or melody, yet the light that stands behind the letter can neither be replaced nor extinguished. Thus, the truth does not dwell in what is written or published, unless there is a gate to what lies beyond it. What lies beyond? That is the living proof, untouched by the hand of alteration, unreached by the ornaments of distortion. And from here, I ask you, by what proof do you stand? By what truth do you claim steadfastness? In what you claim to hold? Joining me in this encounter. To my left, Dr. Crystal. And to my right, Professor Wiseman. Let us begin together this journey. A journey of question, answer, and awakening. Please, Dr. Crystal.
Thank you, Professor Justin. And greetings to our honored viewers. This is certainty. And to confine it within the Quran alone is a great claim, one in which many would differ with you. As you know, certainty is that which cannot be divided, nor debated, nor opposed. And there exist numerous books and manuscripts, and many people believe each to be the certainty. How can this be reconciled among humankind? What do you think, Professor Wiseman?
Thank you, Dr. Crystal, for this realistic proposition. The path of certainty is not an easy one. It requires a clear insight, a sincere heart, and a mind that seeks and never ceases. Today, we shall converse to understand. Is the Quran merely to be read? Or is it a way of life? A path of being? Is every mushaf a Quran? Or is the Quran greater and higher than to be confined within a written book? Many people confuse the material existence of the text with the living meaning that revives hearts and surpasses minds. And here the question stands. Do we read the Quran to recite its letters, or to extract the truth it brings? If truth is confined within pages, and imprisoned between covers, without growth or renewal, it becomes stagnant history, veiling the visions of the present and the future. Truth, O people, is that which outruns time. What say you, Professor Justin?
I thank you both for these profound reflections. The path to certainty is not an easy one. It calls for a clear insight, a truthful heart, and a mind that searches and never stops. Today, our dialogue seeks to understand. Is the Quran merely to be read? Or is it a way of life? A path of existence? Certainty, as I see it, is not a file to be reviewed, nor a state to be declared, but a journey we must walk. If the bound scriptures contain only text, then the Quran is the living truth that transcends paper and ink. Its meanings surpass recitation. They build the conscience and fortify the core of the soul. How many a reader remains blind? And how many a silent one has heard, seen, and understood? Certainty is not seen by the eye, nor attained through stored knowledge, devoid of awareness or action. It is achieved through striving, through unraveling what is assumed, and through walking toward the light that flows through the Quran. Our question today, therefore, is not, what is the Quran? Nor, do we recite it correctly? But rather, do we live by it? Do we embody its truths?
Indeed, Professor Justin. You raise a fundamental question. Do we live by the Quran? But before that, do we truly comprehend what the Quran is? Many imagine that the Quran is what is read in the manuscripts, ink and paper, or what is recited in assemblies, voice and melody, or even what is written on walls and adorns the mosques, decorations, embroidery, and hollow ornamentation. But the truth, as I see it, is that the Quran does not dwell in matter, nor is it confined by words. The Quran is concealed. And what will make you understand what concealed means? None touch it except the purified. And what will make you know who the purified are? A passive form, purified. How many among people are purified indeed? Not those who purify themselves. The active form? For they may defile themselves, then purify, if they will. The Quran is a call to an inner awakening, a revolution of insight. Whoever reads but gains no vision has remained ignorant. And whoever sees but gains no insight has remained heedless. The question that stands today, and every day, is this: does the Quran dwell within us?
I thank you, Dr. Crystal, for this guiding outcry. And I thank you, Professor Justin, for laying the foundation of the question. And I say, who said that the Quran is read by the eyes? Who said it is held by the hands? We kiss the mushaf, yet we do not dwell in its meanings. We place it upon shelves, yet we uproot it from our hearts. We recite and repeat what we have inherited in interpretation, until even our scholars and jurists have come to preserve and possess it as inheritance. But I ask, can the Quran be inherited? Then let the question, as Dr. Crystal has said, be this: does the Quran dwell within us? And I add, are we worthy of such dwelling? Have we prepared our souls to be vessels for the light? Or do we seek the light, yet resent its touch? The Quran does not flatter the soul, nor indulge desire, nor favor anyone. And to those who differ with me, I say, if we differ in understanding, it is not because truth itself is many, but because hearts differ in their purity. Whoever seeks the Quran must strip himself of himself. So I ask, do we carry the Quran? Or is it the Quran that carries us? I thank you both for these sincere pulsations. The pulse of awareness spread by Dr. Crystal, and the pulse of piercing truth uttered by Professor Wiseman. And I say, the Quran is not merely a ruler, nor merely a dwelling of light. It is the pulse of existence, the measure of truth, the treasury of knowledge, and the sieve of intentions. Indeed, we multiply our recitations yet fall short in meaning. We keep the Quran in our chests and our chambers, but forget it in our conduct. We recite it, but do we let it recite us? O beloved ones, the Quran is not an ornament for pride, nor an inheritance to dispute over. It is a promise to those who walk the path, and a warning to those who adorn themselves with its words, yet never transform. Whoever finds no mirror in the Quran has read it without a soul. And whoever, after reading, does not change what lies within, has touched the letters, but not the revelation. We search for meanings among the lines of books, and forget that the Quran dwells in the wounds, in the conscience, and in the heart of the bewildered. Indeed, verses were revealed. It is indeed a noble Quran in a concealed book, none touch it except the purified. We have passed over them as the courteous pass by. and none of those who interpret have delved into their depths. So I ask myself, before I ask anyone else, are we, who have heard and recited these verses, truly able to fathom their depths?
Thank you, Professor Justin, for the fullness of the pulse you have added. The pulse of a suffering conscience, and the cry of an interpretation that pierces the pages, yet refuses to be confined within them. But allow me to raise a question. Indeed, a hidden plea, which we must address to ourselves before others. Have we brought the Quran down upon our hearts? Or has it descended upon us, like rain upon rooftops, falling upon the surface, then flowing away? Have we stripped our souls, as you have said, to receive the naked truth? Or have we worn its letters, while keeping our grudges beneath the garments? Yes, the Quran is not paper, nor a mirror that flatters our images. It is a guillotine for the false self, a scale for every claim, a cave for every seeker, a fire for every heedless one, and water for every thirsty heart. If we are not transformed, have we mistaken reverence for sound? Have we confined dwelling to melody, and not to transformation? O beloved ones, the Quran cannot be held. It holds you. You cannot master its recitation until you cast down what is within you and rebuild yourself by its words, letter by letter, awareness by awareness. So let us answer ourselves before we answer others. Has the Quran touched us? Or do we still adorn ourselves with its nearness, while the river of truth flows around us, not within us?
I shall not go beyond what Crystal has said, nor differ with Justin. Rather, I will follow their trace, and choose a third path. The path of the verses that were veiled and imprisoned within the cells of inherited meanings. But no, I swear by the positions of the stars, and indeed it is a tremendous oath, if you but knew, that this is indeed a noble Quran, in a concealed book. None touch it except the purified. How do we pass over such verses, as though merely turning pages? Where are the positions of the stars? And what does it mean that none touch it except the purified? We have heard 1,000 explanations, all circling within inherited chains, and none has said, pause. There are meanings concealed, truths that remain hidden. How do we understand a concealed book? Is it the printed mushaf? Or the book of truth in the unseen? And who are the purified? Are they those who perform ablution before recitation? Or those who have purified their souls, stripped their minds of constraint, and freed themselves from the tyranny of the past? My friends, what we speak is not play with words, nor corruption of interpretation. It is a search for the root of the question. Are we truly reading the Quran? Or are we reading versions dyed by the opinions of those who ruled over it? Thus my question today, and Justin has preceded me in it with another tongue, is this: do we dare to say? And I mean, not everyone who carries the mushaf has touched the Quran. That is why he said, none touch it except the purified. For every letter and every motion in the Quran is a cosmos that cannot be replaced. Even if the scribes alter it, the reciters substitute it, and the transmitters adopt it, it shall remain a sign, a teacher, and a living witness in the hearts and minds of the purified. And what will make you know who the purified are? You have spoken truly, Professor Wiseman. For every letter is a light, and every vowel a life. Yet the light does not dwell in the script, nor life in the melody, but in the meaning that stands behind the word. The mushaf may have its form altered, and recitation may err upon the tongue of the reader, but the true Quran, that one does not change. does not vanish, and cannot be replaced by those who replace. Yet allow me, Professor Wiseman. In the very books of the Muslims themselves, we find open admission that the manuscripts have undergone alteration and change. They record that some verses were read in different ways, that certain chapters were lost, that letters were rewritten, and that the arrangement of the manuscripts differed. Is not all of this in contradiction to the divine word? Indeed, we have sent down the reminder, and surely we shall preserve it? If preservation is divine, how then do we accept what their own books affirm? Does this not mean that the Quran, which cannot be altered, is not the written mushaf, but the eternal truth standing behind it? The truth witnessed by the purified? If every letter is a universe that cannot be replaced, how then do we distinguish between the printed letter in the mushaf and the cosmic reality that never changes? Would you then say that the purified are those who perceive the reality behind the letter, not those who merely preserve its script or chant its tones? Then the letter is but a gate. The meaning is the entrance, and the purified are the guardians of what lies beyond that gate. You are right, Professor Justin. For the books of the Muslims are filled with mention of the differences among the manuscripts, of additions and omissions, of alterations in form or arrangement. This is a matter that cannot be denied, except through obstinacy or blindness. Yet the truth upon which the Quran insists is not the preservation of ink and paper, but the preservation of the remembrance, which is higher than the pages, and endures beyond the manuscripts. For the mushaf is but a human collection of letters, exposed to change and divergence, while the Quran is the divine word existing in being, the truth that forever bears witness, manifesting in every time and every place. Do you not see that God said, "Indeed, we have sent down the reminder," and he did not say the mushaf? Revelation is not a line inscribed. It is a light descending upon the heart. And if their books acknowledge alteration and substitution, then that itself is proof of the distinction between the written mushaf and the preserved Quran. The mushaf is guarded by scribes and protected by authority, but the Quran is guarded by the Lord and witnessed by the purified, the keepers of its knowledge and its secrets, through every age until the day of judgment. Yes, the letter is the gate of the Quran, but it opens upon a greater entrance, the entrance to the truth that does not change, untouched by distortion or substitution. And if the purified behold what lies beyond the letter, then this is the true preservation, not that which is circulated in manuscripts and writings.
Well spoken, Professor Wiseman. You have made clear the distinction between the written mushaf and the preserved Quran. Yet allow me to add, divine preservation does not reside in letters alone, nor in lines and scripts. It is the preservation of light within hearts, the hearts of those whom God has made its keepers. For he has declared in majesty, none touch it except the purified. And touch, oh Professor Wiseman, is not the touch of hands and fingers. For the word mass and its derivations occur 56 times in the Quran, and not once do they mean physical touch. The touch is the contact of truth, the contact of its light. When that light is extinguished, the letter becomes lifeless. But when the light shines, the Quran is manifest in every world and in every soul. The purified are those who do not stop at the manuscripts, but pass from letter to meaning. They see in every verse a gate, and beyond that gate, an ocean of knowledge that never ends.
Our noble viewers, we thank you for joining us on this radiant journey. This meeting began the moment the symbol of certainty appeared before you. in the form of a sacred book pointing the way. That path which, if you choose, may lead you to a luminous beginning. And from there, into the lights of certainty. We have opened the door and lit the path and made it a point of radiance above my head, guiding the onlooker to their way. All that remains is for you to open the gates of insight. Stay with us for what is deeper, higher, and more sincere. Until we meet again, cherish your thoughts, for truth always begins here. Thank you. And thanks to my dear colleagues who joined me in this meeting with warmth, appreciation, and care. See you in the next episode.